Hey guys, it's so great to see you again. I have a super good time doing these videos. That's what I explained in the last episode. Today we are going to talk about my favorite thing in the world, or at least it used to be, Muppet. For all you Muppet fans out there, I just want to tell you there is a lot of last media relating to the Muppets. First, we're going to start with The Muppets Present, or Present, an early 2000s remake of The Muppet Show that ultimately was canceled and is lost. According to an article entitled Licensing Roundup, a new version of The Muppet Show called The Muppets Present, or it was supposed to be called The All New Muppet Show, was set to launch in 2001, or it would air in 2004. It would have had new Muppet characters, who are possibly scrapped, and old characters like Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fonzie, Gonzo, Animal, Robin, you know. But nah, there's no more info. People assume that this was canceled because of the failure of Muppets Tonight. It's a spin-off that ran in the 90s. It aired because, and it brought us Pepe and Clifford. Oh, so the Muppets are a Jim Henson franchise. They also made Sid the Science Kid and Dinosaur Train. I forgot to tell you that. So, I found more lost medias. Now this was made a very long time ago. It dates back to 1965 or 1968. And this is supposed to be a pilot for a TV series by Jim Henson. Now, you probably remember years ago, they used to make flicks based on fairy tales, and they made Muppets Wizard of Oz lately. Well, they actually produced a pilot for a TV series based on Cinderella. It's a fairy tale. It's super popular and everyone knows about it. The most popular adaptation of Cinderella is the Disney one from the 1950s. Now, you probably know Hey Cinderella, that special that was based on the Muppets and Cinderella. Well, there was a pilot produced that was supposed to have a bunch of that would have a ton of Muppet characters and would have some old Muppet characters that appeared a long time ago back in the day. It was made in 1965 and it was shot in October for ABC. It was supposed to be a serial of episodes on a cliffhanger. And there's a photo, but I don't want to show you any footage or images of anything today. Characters made for the pilot, including Splurds, were performed by Jim Henson. All we know is that for many years we thought that the pilot is lost, and it's still today, but eventually in the summer 2013, a 16mm copy was found and donated to the Henson Archives. And now it's available for viewing at the Paley Center for Media. But there's even more canceled and unfinished Muppet media, so I'm going to look at some TV programs. Muppet High was a planned TV series that wasn't produced. It was supposed to be made in 1990, but this was prior to the death of Jim Henson. Muppet High was to depict the Muppets as 50s high school students Kermit would have been a motorcycle driving teen with a leather jacket. Miss Piggy would wear a poodle skirt. Fozzie Bear would be a soda jerk. And Ralph would be a varsity football player. The two there are various more Muppet characters. Also, fun fact, Kermit and Rolf were the first two Muppet characters made. Rolf appeared in ads for Purina Dog Chow, and Kermit appeared on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. This is actually a campaign, but this is too good to not put on the list. Pig of the 90s was a marketing campaign that was proposed in 1990 for the Jim Henson Company to reinvigorate Miss Piggy's popularity. Like they always want to, and they even made a book that I have. The first step of the campaign was Miss Piggy breaking up with Kermit. The campaign was sadly dropped after the death of Jim Henson 2 days later. There's a Henson document, and there was also supposed to be a People magazine article, I think. I found images and photos of a mock article. There would have also be a projected timeline, but all we got out of 1990, was some TV specials, and Kermit and Piggy stay together. Next is some ads with some robots. You see, Jim Henson produced some ads for American Oil, and it had two robots. One of them is named Clyde. These were produced in 1969. The same year, they did Sesame Street, and unfortunately, this is lost. Everything is lost. All that's left is artwork of Clyde, but at least you'll still buy American Oil today. Next up is The World of the Muppets. It's an unproduced project that's similar to Muppets on Puppets. It taught you how to learn how to build puppets and how they maked it. It's like how Henson cut a green coat of his mom and turned it into Kermit the Frog, and then he became a frog, and he was supposed to be a lizard, and he appeared on Sam and Friends, but yeah. In 1970, after a positive response to the wider airings of Muppets on Puppets, he thought of something similar, and he was sponsored by General Foods, the company that produces those grocery store foods you buy all the time. And, unfortunately, it was never completed. Next, it's Frog School. In 2002, Kidscreen magazine reported that Henson TV was working on Frog School. That was probably going to be a preschool comedy that would have depicted Kermit at school for frogs. Frog School. The executive producer would have been Lisa Henson, Jim Henson's daughter, but unfortunately it never came to be. But we did get to see young Kermit in a prequel that was direct-to-video called Kermit's Swamp Years. So, yeah, you can go see it. There was also some, next I want to talk about something that it might not be the Muppets, but I'm talking about it anyway. This is something that my mom would probably really want to hear me talk about because she's a big fan of Fraggle Rock. There were some unfinished Fraggle Rock spin-offs. There was the Puppet TV series, Fraggle Rock, a Saturday morning cartoon, and the animated series The Doozers. There was also a ton of books and a lot of merchandise and even those racing kart Happy Meal toys. So the first of these unfinished spin-offs was one based on Uncle Traveling Matt. During production of the third season, they wanted to produce a spin-off probably where he traveled around the world. Next was an episode of the Jim Henson Hour that would be called The Saga of Fraggle Rock. Not known. Not a lot is known. All we probably know is that it would probably, tell you about it. And the last one is something that my mom would probably really want to see. It's the Fraggle Rock movie. Fraggle Rock, the movie, was announced in 2005. The main characters were supposed to take an adventure outside of Fraggle Rock, where they interact with the strange beings in outer space, or humans. The Weinstein Company, who distributed Hoodwinked and Hoodwinked 2, wanted to be the ones who distributed the Fraggle Rock, but unfortunately, I think they're still working on. They probably gotta build new puppets because, Johnny Fiamma and that gorilla, those puppets deteriorated. Something similar probably happened to this one. Now, I would still probably be excited to do this. Next up is the cheapest Muppet movie ever made. The cheapest Muppet movie ever made? I don't know. This was something that Jim Henson, Jerry Joel, and Frank Oz, former Muppet associates, have developed in 1985. The project was, the idea was going to be that this was something that Gonzo directed. Kermit was too busy, and then he said, sure, go ahead. And then it would be so cheesy and terrible plot, and then blows up half the budget, and then as it progresses, it gets cheaper and cheaper. Yeah, I don't know. Can you even trust an alien? I don't know. Wait, you didn't hear he was an alien? How about you go see Muppets in Space and then hear? Unfortunately, Frank Oz tried to discuss redirecting the 15-year-old script, but it never became anything at all. Lastly, I want to talk about Muppet movie cameos that could have happened. These Muppet movie cameos never happened. First, we're going to look at the first one from 1979. An earlier script would have had George Burns appear as a local bait shop owner, and then a Henry Kissinger as an expiring actor. Great Muppet Caper Jack Warden was supposed to appear, and Jim Backus, Tom Mosley, Jackie Cooper, Hume Crone, David Doyle, Charles Dooney, Roger Crawford, Ed Asner, Marvin Balsam, Harvey Korman, Walter Matthau, Jack Klugman, Jack Lemmon, and Lionel Stander were all supposed to appear for the role of Mike Tarkanian. There's also supposed to be a Dustin Hoffman cameo in Muppets Take Manhattan, and in It's a Very Muppet Christmas, Snoop Dogg was supposed to have a scene. Aw, Snoop Doggy Dogg didn't get a chance. I guess all he'll have to do right now is voice Smooth Move. The guy from Turbo. And Turbo Fast. The Muppets. The reboot. There were supposed to be cameos by Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, Christian Bale, Ben Stiller, Steve Carell, George Clooney, Mel Brooks, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Rachel Ray, Bob Saget, Lisa Lampanelli, Jeff Ross, and Charles Grodin. Rob Corridy, Billy Crystal, Ricky Gervais, Kathy Griffin, Sarah Hyland, Sterling Knight, Wanda Skies, and Danny Trejo all got cameos, but their scenes were cut, and now they're on bonus features. There were also more appearances, like there was Lady Gaga, Liza Minnelli, French Stewart, Nikki Holiday, Charles Grodin. They were all supposed to appear. Oh, and in Muppets Most Wanted, Bridget Mendler, David B. Ryan, Peter, Sarah Pinowitz, Jake Short, and Tyrell Jackson Williams all got cameos, and they were also included in the unnecessarily extended cut. I'm so sorry. I'm just so tired from talking. That's all I can talk about. Bye!